Thus, I gave you a little hint of this at the top of the show. Isaac Rochell is here, defensive lineman with the Chargers. It's so good to have you come back. What a defensive unit you guys have. You finished 6th overall in the NFL last season.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the leadership that we have. I always speak so highly of our coaching staff, and then, like I mentioned, guys like Brandon Meebane on the D-line. They do a good job of just leading us and showing us exactly what we need to do.
You know, we love Brandon. Brandon's been in with us, and our hearts just went out to him so much at the end of the season back in January with the death of his newborn daughter. That must have been something for you guys on the team.
Yeah, it was. I think for us, it showed us a lot about his character, though. I think you realize quickly that football is a great sport. We love it, but for him to be like, all right, I need to be there for my family. I need to be there for my wife and my kids. It just showed who he was, and it almost makes him more trustworthy on the field.
Yeah, he did. It took precedence over everything else during the playoffs as well. You are playing on a unit that has Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram, right? You're playing with some of the best guys in the NFL. We're real impressed with the Chargers and the Chargers defense in particular.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been able to learn a lot from them, probably Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, I mean, both of them. I think they make it easy because they know what they're doing. They know exactly what it takes to get where they are, and they're not selfish guys. They're willing to help other guys. And for me, I've learned so much from both Joey and Melvin. I've become a better football player, a better D lineman, and I think just learning how to approach off the field, too, they've helped a lot.
Last time we saw you guys, of course, you went up to the Patriots. We were really hoping this was going to be the year Philip Rivers was going to do it and overcome Tom Brady, right? Give me a little bit on your observations of Philip Rivers.
Yeah, I mean, he's a beast, too. And the biggest thing that's been cool for me with Philip is the way that he interacts with everybody on the team. I think sometimes people think that big-time quarterbacks and players like that kind of are to themselves. They do what they need to do and they leave the facility. I mean, he's got tons of children, huge family.
9 kids and a newborn.
Exactly. And you would think that he would just leave, but he is very involved in the day-to-day of my life and my teammates' life, and it's been really cool to get to know him as a great teammate.
You know what I really liked? I saw this and I wanted to run it by you. During that game when you were playing Tom Brady, Joey Bosa had this little moment where he and Tom Brady talked on the field, and he sat down on the bench and told you about it. Let's run the clip and then we'll talk about it.
Hit me on the butt after the play, Brady. What did he say? I'm like, stop throwing the ball so fast. He said, if you stop getting here so fast, I won't have to throw it fast. He really is ridiculous. He really is ridiculous. Like his ability, just, I mean, how quick he could get rid of the ball when he sees. Impressive.
That was impressive to me, what he said just there.
Yeah, and that just goes to show what type of player he is. And you mentioned Melvin and Joey. These dudes fully understand the game. I think it's not just, all right, how can I be a good D lineman? It's appreciating other players' abilities and then figuring out how that can make Joey better, Melvin better, and myself better.
Yeah, you've picked up so many things from them. You were heavier than them as a D lineman coming in, and so you said, look, they're Pro Bowl level, so I'm just going to drop some weight, right? So you did that. How many pounds you dropped when you came in?
Oh, I mean, I think when I at my highest point in college, I was 295. And you're right. I'm looking at them. I'm like, I'm this big. I mean, Melvin is like 255. Why do I need to be this big if he's a Pro Bowler being successful at that weight? And you're right. I was like, all right, I need to lose weight.
Yeah, I'm seeing you do things like that where you're learning from them and learning fast. You're here because see you on Sunday. Hashtag see you on Sunday. There's been so much said about social media, and this is about social media. You're really active on social media, but this is something to kind of get people to take a break. But let's talk about you on Instagram, first of all, because you're a photographer, and
I
you
love
take
it. Yeah, I love photos.
we have some of them for you to show you. You got like a professional camera.
Yeah, I do. A Canon. It's a 5D Mark II, but it's just a creative outlet. I mean, it's an easy way to do something that's not just football. I think it's important to just exercise all parts of your brain, and so I've appreciated the hobby.
Yeah, and you've taken some amazing pictures, I have to say. You just picked this up on your own with your own eye and your own. I think this is a gift and quite a talent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, I'd like to think that too.
I do. I can.
You gotta
Some
be a
people
beast
can't
to do
snap
it.
it. But what your movement here is hashtag see you on Sunday. It's something you started in college at Notre Dame with a friend of yours, I think a teammate of yours, right? Where you said, look, we need to take. What was the phrase you guys would use?
Yeah, just for keeps.
Just for keeps, right?
So it kind of started with us just becoming a little bit more woke and understanding that. You know, I don't always need to take a photo to post. A lot of what we do can just be just for keeps. It can just be for fun. If you want to take photos just for your own personal use, that's fine. And then that kind of developed into me just evaluating my own use. And then a year ago, I really started the See You on Sunday movement. Since then, I've been inviting people to take Saturdays off social media. And the goal is just to get people to have conversations about healthy social media use. And it's fun for me. I think it's cool for me to see people getting involved and comment on how beneficial it is. People have said that it's helped their relationships. It's helped them explore hobbies that they didn't know they had. So I love it, obviously.
There's a movie. Let's run a clip of it. There's a movie that deals with this, too, called Like. Take a look.
More than 2 billion people have smartphones today, and we're checking them about, on average, 150 times every day. What does the world look like where 2 billion people are checking our devices 150 times a day?
I was 9 when I first got
There is so much good, but there is also so much destructive. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, has said a couple months ago that there are depressed NBA players. It's hard to think that you can be in a professional league and be depressed, but he relates some of it to social media. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There was a New York Times article that came out that just talked about how there's a direct correlation between liking somebody's photos and then becoming more depressed and your view of yourself going down. And I don't think that there's any particular person that can avoid that. I think we're human. And it doesn't matter what level you're at, that still affects you. And it's been interesting for me in my personal use. I mean, the way it started is a year ago, I'm feeling these like thoughts of depression, anxiety, jealousy, and I'm like, my whole life I've wanted to be in the NFL. This is like a dream. How can I possibly feel these things? But then I look at my use and I'm like, but I'm also spending 5 hours a day looking at other people's lives. And that's where that correlation comes, where it's like, is that helping me become a quote-unquote happier person? So I completely agree with those comments.
Are you still feeling those feelings, or has this helped?
Yeah, it's helped tremendously. I think the biggest thing is you start to realize, like, even if I do use these apps, it's my choice. I don't feel like I'm just going there because it's out of habit or just out of, like, the way that they're designed. And I think that changes the way that you might evaluate looking at other people's lives. And I think it also opens up the option to get off the apps. You know, you can just say, if I don't want to be on this, I'm not going to be on this.
Totally true.
And then it also encourages you to be more productive on it. Post about your passions, post about things that matter to you. And I think that alleviates some of these, you know, like emotional byproducts.
I think it's a really good point you bring up.
Yeah.
I notice it with myself, too, sometimes. Sometimes it's like I'm looking at them going, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. See you on Sunday. Hashtag see you on Sunday. Let's all take Saturday off.
No
Why not?
doubt,
Or one day of the week that works for us.
Yeah.
Isaac, thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in. Look for great things from you as you continue on with a great Chargers team. We've got more. Next Saturday, we have another huge boxing card here on Fox. The main event, Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados. Adrian is also here in studio, and he's next. Don't go away.